So I bought another really cheap RGB LED strip, and yeah, it was $5 with the remote, power supply, controller and everything, and even a bonus. Wait, can I find it? They included the connector, which in theory could connect two LED strips, but it's too wide. So this LED strip has all the 4 contacts very close together, and this one is too wide, so I can't use it here. How do you open this? Like that? Look, it's too wide. Maybe 3 would connect, but I can't connect all 4. So yeah, this was a bonus, not worth anything, at least for me, because all my LED strips are this thin, not this wide. So yeah, thanks for nothing, you got rid of some garbage. So yeah, here's the LED strip. It's about 5 meters, at least 4, but I don't care at this price. But what I do care about is that this is defective. So the controller is defective, and I'll show you what it doesn't do. So I turn it on. Yes, it goes into this fade mode. That's okay, it can fade. We know it can fade, but when I put on just one color, like red, and I try to decrease the brightness, it doesn't work. Increasing doesn't work, and decreasing doesn't work. So yeah, I know the controller can fade it, it's the same thing. Decrease the brightness and increase the brightness, but you can do it from the remote. I also tried a different remote from a different LED strip, and this also works, and it also can't reduce the brightness, so it's not the remote control's fault. Yeah, so it does all these modes fine. You can decrease the speed or increase it, but yeah, it can't decrease the brightness. So there must be something wrong with this controller. And yeah, let's pop it open. Let's see what's inside. Turn it off. It must be exactly the same, probably exactly the same as the other one. You just come on. Get out. Man, it's stuck in there hard. Okay, so yeah, it's the same thing with 1 chip instead of 2. The board has an additional spot for another chip, and the 3 gates, transistors I think, or whatever you call them, which regulate the 3 colors. And yeah, it can't fade, so it must be from this chip. This is the software and hardware, the brains of it all. So that must be faulty or buggy at least, because it works, but without those 2 functions, increase and decrease brightness. So yeah, for $5, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to return it or something. But yeah, it's worth noting that you can expect this from cheap products, that some functions will probably not work, but overall they are usable. And oh yeah, usable, mostly usable. But let me show you the power supply. First of all, it smelled bad, really bad. And it also, like with the old one, oh, and it's broken. That's interesting. I didn't notice that. Okay. It's broken. Somebody tried to open it improperly and that wasn't me. Wait, come on. Oh. Come on. I'm also doing it improperly, but somebody broke it before me. Look. It's broken. So yeah. But that's not even the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that this thing doesn't have any power. It gives out 500 milliamps on 12 volts, when on the bottom it says 2 amps. DC 12 volts, 2 amps. So it's outputting a quarter of the power. And if you use the LED strip with this one, and 5 meters of the LED strip, this will burn down, guaranteed. So with this power supply you can use the LED strip and the controller and everything, but only like 1 or 2 meters. That is supported, I measured it, then it's only about 3.5 watts and it supports it fine. This tiny little power supply, I looked it up online and this only supports 500 milliamps, which would be about 6 watts. But if it's of poor quality, then it's much more safe to only put on like 3 or 4 watts of load long term, because yeah. And look at the thin wires. These would never support 2 amps. Maybe, yeah, they support 500 milliamps, but not much more. So yeah, those are my 2 complaints with this really cheap LED strip kit. And yeah, totally worth it, but expect these problems. Yeah.